I'm not very up on poetry, so it was another learning curve. People I mixed with seemed to know a lot about it. And then one day, after it had finished, we were chatting away, and I just said, does anyone know if that exhibition over at Huddersfield is still going strong? And it's about children that collected a lot of buttons, millions of buttons, for all the Jews that had died in Auschwitz. And I said I'd like to go. So sitting opposite me was someone that I'd known by going to meetings and things, and she always seemed to turn up, and they called her Barbara Beddoes. And her husband was the editor of the Halifax Courier. And we used to keep meeting up, and I got on with her fine. So Barbara was opposite me, and she just said, I said, the reason why I did want to know, because when I was about 9 years old, I was in the playground and somebody said, you're a Jew. And that didn't mean a thing, because it was a word. But where they said it, it wasn't very nice. So I said, no, I'm not. They said, yes, you are. And I remember going home and saying to my mum, am I a Jew? And she said, now what we're going to have for our tea? Now remember, this is 1939. So you can see why. And my mother was a Methodist. Father wasn't a practicing Jew. And that's how something started, because I said to Barbara, well, I said we had a shop in Halifax, because my father was Jewish. And she said, I wanted to get married before I was 21, and I was adopted, and I had to get my birth mother's permission. And she found a birth mother, and while she was talking to her, she was adopted, she told her who her father was. So she looked at me when I said we had a shop, a tailor's shop in Halifax, and she said there was 2 tailor's shops called Davis. I said, yeah, that's right. I said it was my father's brother. She said, what was your father's name? And I said, Abram. She said, that was my father as well. And it was so amazing. I couldn't believe it, because there was 6 of us in the family, including my mother and father. He was a wonderful man. And I thought, say it again. She said, I think that we've got the same father. And from then, we did have DNA taken, and it said, that we were, as far as possibly they could tell, we were half sisters. So that was a special experience for me, wasn't it?